This week's top stories and city events and city news. An extreme amount of gas stations and liquor stores were robbed this week all over San Andrea, with many clerks being shot in the process. These robberies seem to be calculated but are being done by many different criminal citizens in the city, all of which were wearing masks during the robberies. No working clerks this reporter met so far seem to want to comment on the recent robberies, possibly in fear that their stores are next. We've received a few security camera clips of these horrendous crimes being committed, which we'll cut to now. Viewer discretion is advised. As you can see in this footage, many clerks are attempting to fire in self-defense while robberies are being committed. However, those who attempt to defend themselves are not always able to successfully do so. Some clerks are able to hit a panic button before their ultimate demise, and police are then notified of the robberies and arrive swiftly on scene. Some criminals were able to successfully evade police, but some have also been taken into custody where they are detained and prosecuted. In other news, 3 men wearing masks took a citizen hostage at a bank earlier this week. The 3 men demanded a $20,000 PayPal transfer, which was received from police. They then let the hostage go and were able to evade police, if only for a little while, until they were chased down once again. After crashing near a worksite in the city, all 3 men fled the scene, but only 1 man was captured by police and taken into custody. The 2 men that were able to flee the scene in question were later spotted and engaged in a vehicle pursuit which ended in both suspects jumping off a 20-foot-high roadside onto a beach, resulting in broken bones for each suspect. When police and EMS were able to get down to the men to aid and detain them, both suspects admitted to the crimes they committed and more that the police were unaware about.
This morning, and then,
Are you hearing this? Are you hearing this, Scott?
and then we robbed the store, and then there was an armor truck, right? Okay, so we pulled up there.
The men were detained and fined, and there's no word if they returned to the city since the incident. In shorter news this week, a bomb threat was dropped off at LS Customs. Citizens were asked on Twitter by LSC employees to stay away until the police could assess the danger. After the police were notified, the men who apparently dropped off the truck with the possible bomb inside arrived back on scene to pick up the truck. As of now, no further threats have been made. And in strange news this week, multiple animals and creatures have been seen in and around the city. A pug was hired onto the police force this week, with many citizens gathering to congratulate the pug on his new high ranking in the police force. Frank was already out sniffing crime. His first criminal bust was a bystander on a bike who was wanted for many crimes. Frank the police pug took the man into custody. An alien was spotted at the hospital until the alien fully transitioned into a zombie. Many witnesses were baffled by the sudden body morph. Everyone with zombie bites were treated, and all victims made a full recovery. And in our last story tonight, a local penguin named Zeep saved his friend the King of the Sea Cthulhu by getting EMS and an officer to come help the injured creature on top of a mountain. In his effort to save his friend, he was also hurt on top of the mountain, but EMS and police arrived on the scene and were able to escort them to the hospital where they made a full recovery and were met with their third friend, the Birdman. I'm Baxter Babe, and that was this week's top stories and city events. Thank you for watching and stay safe out there.